On this episode of the Create SMP, our entertainer Khalil befriends a large quantity of bees, watches as the warden feasts on his friend, sails his iron shop to spawn, and tests his luck in a trial chamber. With Vivos closing in on the planet, will the server be able to free themselves from the iron grip of Serenity? Find out on this episode of the Create SMP. Alrighty, so for this episode, I think the first thing I want to do is build some more redstone farms. We're getting close to having all of the redstone farms I'd planned completed, and if you can't tell, the one I'm working on right now is the bee farm. I am just breeding up as many bees as I possibly can so that we can have a massive automatic bee farm. And so once I can fill up all of the, I think I'll probably need to do 2 rows, so I'm missing a few more of the beehives, but once I can fill them all up, I'm gonna go over and find a spot in the mountain and build a little bee farm. But yeah, so that's the plan to start with, and then after that it might be time to think about potentially doing the cobblestone farm. It could be time to work on the cobblestone farm. That one's a little tricky because you've got to perfectly time the piston movements in order to break the cobblestone with 0 blast resistance, but I think we can figure it out if we follow a tutorial online. But until then, it's bee time. I'm gonna make lots of bees and we'll see how that goes. I was able to get all of the 30 beehives filled with 3 bees each. So we got tons of beehives, tons of bees, and I went ahead and built this little area. You can see the main base is kind of out here. It's gonna flow down into the same one as the bamboo. But the way this machine works is pretty simple. There'll be beehives underneath these dispensers and above these hoppers. And when the beehive is at full honey level, this comparator is going to read that and it's going to put up the redstone it's needed to trigger this dispenser. And these dispensers are filled up with shears, and that will shear the beehive, dropping its honeycomb, and the honeycomb gets picked up, put into this dropper, and I'm gonna have a little hopper clock here that dispenses it into the river, and essentially the bees will pop out and they'll see their flowers right in front of them, and then they'll go back in and make more honey. On this side I'm going to do the same thing, but I'll show you what we're going to do. It's a little different, but I want to go ahead and put the bees in to officially activate this one. Gonna get a little chaotic in here, but since it's nighttime and raining, I'm pretty sure they won't pop out yet, which is good. You can hear it shearing them. That should confirm that our redstone's all working properly. Interesting that some of them are popping outward. There's a chance that it doesn't always make it in the hopper, but if we have a few losses here and there, it's not going to be the end of the world. We'll see how it treats itself, but look at that, 45 honey. So they should pop out the next daylight and do their stuff, and let's head over to the redstone testing world and I'll show you what I have planned for this one. Alrighty, so the idea of a bee farm got me thinking. We've got the auto crafter now, and I think it can allow us to make a self-replenishing bee farm. So this is the redstone testing world. You may have seen it in some of my YouTube shorts, but essentially when these bees pop out and they fully fill their hive with honey, this dispenser triggers, and it has glass bottles in it. So it makes a honey bottle. That honey bottle makes its way into this large chest and then makes itself way down into this crafter. And the crafter is an interesting block because right now there's only 1 of the 4 blocks filled. We don't want it to make sugar. We want it to make a honey block. And so this comparator here reads that it's only 1 of 4. And due to the page that this lectern is on, it's going to require it to be 4 blocks filled. And as soon as 4 blocks get filled, we can do it right now, it will trigger this piston here, and that's going to allow the crafter to craft. There we go, piston triggered, crafter crafted, and we saw some stuff fly out here. That's because the crafter has an output on the front of it, which then puts the 4 bottles and the 1 honey block down here into this dropper. And then the 4 bottles pop out and the 1 honey block does. The honey blocks make their way down here, and the bottles get picked up into this dispenser line through this item filter here that's looking for glass bottles. And then it gets launched up through this dropper elevator, spit back up the top, and the glass bottles make their way back into the dispensers up top. So normally you'd be stuck because you'd have to keep funneling in glass bottles in order to keep getting more honey. But as long as we only care about the blocks, we can auto craft them into blocks and then put the bottles right back up in the top, which makes it self-replenishing. So I'm going to replicate this on the server, maybe a little neater. I was just kind of messing around with the idea here. And then we should have infinite honey blocks, and we don't really care too much about the honey liquid. It's not really used for much. And so we should be good with the blocks, and this should work super well for us. So the bee farm is working pretty well. If we look, we might catch some honey coming down. It was going pretty fast for a while, but I think there was a big backup once I finished making it that caused it to kind of just vomit out really quickly. But it's been producing very well. We made quite the efficient farm. Oh, I even made a door to get in. So we can see we got bees on both sides. These guys make the bottles. These guys make the honeycomb. So like I showed in the redstone testing world, the bottles get picked up and put into this auto crafter, and then they get crafted into honey blocks with our little lectern trick that we got going back here. There's the lectern and everything. And so it spits out 1 honey block and 4 honey bottles, and then they make their way up here, and then they get shot across this filter, which picks up only honey blocks, and then the bottles make their way across, and we are good to go. I thought that was easier than sorting the bottles out, but just sort the honey block out, right? It makes a lot more sense. And then the honey blocks make their way all the way over, and they get spit out here, and then they make their way down to the base, and we can go look at how much honey we have right now. I expect it to be a good amount because it's been running for a while now, and it was already producing pretty quick when last time I checked it. So here we are. Lots of honeycomb, and several stacks of honey blocks. I mean, this is you can't get better than that. I mean, it's all automatic. The bottles get re-put back in. The only thing we would ever have to actually change out would be the shears if for some reason the shears broke, but there's a lot of shears in there, so I don't really expect them to break. So that is going great.
Hello.
That didn't take you too long, unless you've been on all day.
No, it took me like 2 hours maybe.
Were the blazes harder or the Enderman?
The Enderman probably.
Got it.
It took longer.
I'm just gonna make sure we got all of them we need. Yup. Nice. I don't know what you're gonna do with all those, but here you go.
Dude, I don't want them. You can take those shulker if you want.
I guess I will. So that helmet, it has a fancy auto eat enchantment on it. So if there's food anywhere in your inventory, it will automatically eat for you.
Just sick. What the hell?
All the end relics have fun enchantments. Your shield does knock back like thorns damage when you block with it.
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed that or not.
Yeah, we thought it was just thorns, but like knockback. Yeah.
Yeah, like if a zombie hits you, it'll like knock the zombie backwards, and then it does like 4 hearts of damage, so it's pretty significant. Sweet.
Have all what armor pieces are left?
So the chest plate's been found, and then the leggings and the boots are left. But fella 8 Nathan has the chest plate, and I'm sure that he'd be open to trading if you were like, I'm 1 away from the full set.
Okay.
You just gotta find the rest.
That was crazy. Lethal Company, right?
We're pretty much done with most of the redstone in the base. I do think I want to do cobblestone, although we have a lot, but I've never built a cobblestone farm before, so I still want to try it. But I wanted to take a little break from our area, and I wanted to go over to the shopping district. Some people have started to build shops around spawn, and there's a port where you can build boats and have shops on the boats. And we've got a lot of iron. I don't think anyone's selling iron yet. I'm going to go check just to make sure. But I thought it could be a good idea to build a little boat there and sell some iron and see if we can get some diamonds, because currently we have none. And as the shopping district has started, I can't buy anything. So if we could get some diamonds from selling iron, it would be great. So I'm gonna work on that, and I'll show you guys what I've got when I'm done. Alrighty, I made this little boat here. It's a little mangrove boat, and we imagine this sailed over from our area and brought with it iron for sale. 1 stack of iron for 1 diamond. Pretty cheap. Iron's not too hard to get, so I figure that people wouldn't want to buy it if it wasn't pretty cheap. And it sits here at the dock, which is kind of near spawn. These are some other shops that have been made around, and this is Applejack's and the Adventuring Guild, and it's a pretty cool area, so I'm hoping we get some traffic to the shop. I've got something to show you guys. I kind of did this on a whim, and I wasn't really planning on doing it, but I had some time where I couldn't record, but I still wanted to work on the server. And so I went ahead and made some pathways kind of from where the wizard tower is going to be up to the villager city and up to the farm. I tried to make it so that you could walk up all of it without jumping. Some of the spots got a little steep and a little more difficult. And then along the way there are these little lampposts and such, which helped it. Please, you don't have to be here. Which make it a little nice aesthetic as we make our way up to the farm. And then we can see a similar thing. We can kind of see it from an elevated position. We can see it going up to the villager farm, which I also surrounded in various oak and spruce trees to kind of just frame it in, essentially. And I think it looks pretty nice. The bee farm is all good and flowing now. We've been getting lots of honey from that. And I think it's time to work on the cobblestone farm. Now, I wasn't exactly sure where I wanted to put the cobblestone farm. We're kind of running out of room. And it's gonna be quite loud because there's gonna be a lot of TNT. My initial thought is right back there, straight back, and I think we're gonna go with that. I don't really see any reason not to, so we'll just go straight back into the mountain there, and we'll build the cobblestone farm. All right, so lucky enough, when I mined into the wall here, I ran into this cave, and so right there's where the items need to go through to pop out on the other side. And we don't really have any plans for this cave, and I don't really expect to add any plans for this cave, so I'm just going to build the TNT thing in this giant hole. I mined it out a little bit, and then I don't have to mine out a giant chunk, and I can build it right here and send the items right up and pop them out, and it should be pretty nice and convenient. Here's everything we need in order to build the cobblestone generator. A bunch of lava, and then several other blocks in order to do the TNT duper. So I'll get to work on that, and I'll show you guys the finished product. Just finished building the TNT farm. I am terrified to turn this thing on because any farm that involves TNT is likely to blow itself up. And I'll tell you guys right now, if I flip this lever and it blows itself up, we're not going to make it a cobblestone farm. This thing produces 60,000 cobblestone per hour. What am I going to use all that for? It's more just for the sake of it, but we're gonna turn this thing on and see what happens, and a bunch of cobblestone should spit out there. So flip the lever and press the button. I'm scared. Well, it's definitely working. That is good. That is good news. I'm not gonna stop it. No, I am gonna stop it. I need to know if I can stop it. Okay. Well, look at that. It works pretty well, actually. And that got us, you know, a few stacks. I'm gonna hook this up to a water bubble column and send it straight in. No droppers needed. There's a chance it overflows the system. I don't know how to deal with that. I think it makes, well, I know how much cobblestone it makes. It makes 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 4 times, so that's way too much. Oh no, we've got, That might be too much for the hoppers. I guess there's only one way to find out. It won't be too much. It is going to be close though. So I'm going to make the bubble column and we'll send it through and we will see what happens. But yeah, there we go. Cobblestone farm. Thanks for the tutorial, Kelp MC. It was very helpful. Okay, bad news. The cobblestone's coming down and it definitely overloaded the system. I just am hoping that it doesn't break the other item filters, because if it's just the cobblestone pouring in here, which it looks like it is, we'll be fine. These are just going to fill up with cobblestone along with the sorters. So what's happening is there's not enough. The sorters are moving too slowly behind here, and so they're filling up with cobblestone and it's producing way too fast. But we'll let it fill up in the extra. We'll let it fill up here. When it fills up this chest, I'll stop it and I'll put all the extra into the top chest. We'll have a full thing of cobblestone and then I'll turn the machine off, because let me just show you how far off you can hear the explosions from. This is not a machine that we want to run very often. We can hear them here. It is all the way over there, and we can hear the explosions from all the way over here. This thing is, we are not going to run this thing constantly. But it is working amazing and it's producing a ton of cobblestone. So once we're full, I'm just going to leave it there and we can turn it back on if we ever need more cobblestone, but I don't think we'll ever need more cobblestone than what we have. This villager town is getting so close to being finished, and I went ahead and I lit up everything. You can see some candles up there. They're lighting up the ice and snow so it doesn't melt. I put this field here so that they have some means of food, and it also gives the farmers a place to work. And on the interiors of these buildings, I put a little bit of stuff in here. There's just a lot of beds in here. We needed somewhere for all the beds to go, and so this kind of became the bed house. And then over here, there's like a little kitchen where they could cook and make food, and there's another little bed in here, a little attic. And all the villagers are working, and since it's all lit up, they are free to roam around the city and converse where they want and be with their workstations. And I think it all looks pretty good. We need more villagers. We need lots more villagers. There's tons of workstations that are not used, and like these guys are just standing here for some reason. They're not doing anything. I don't know why. But we want to get everyone in workstations, get them locked at a good workstation, and then I need to build some custom trees in here. Still hoping to get a hold of Jared Hat so that he can help me out, because I'm not so great at building the custom trees. But until then, I think this area is pretty well checked off and the cobblestone generator is completed. So I think it's time to go back to the theater and review our document and see what else we have to work on, because I think we're getting pretty close to finishing this area. Alrighty, let's just click this on and wait for it to go. Alright, so we haven't pulled this map up in a little bit, but let's give it a look and let's see what we're still haven't finished yet. It's looking pretty good. We've got the item sorter in the storage down at the bottom with the super smelter. Around the sides we've got iron, sugarcane, wool, bamboo and wood, slime and honey, mobs, and cobblestone. The only thing we don't have that's listed on here is crops, but I don't know exactly. I guess we could do potatoes. That might be worth doing, a little villager potato farm. I'll look into it. And then villager town up on the left, that one's pretty much complete. We're just trying to get more villagers. And then the animal barn on the right with the wheat fields and such, it's looking pretty good. There's no river up there, but I don't really plan on adding one at this point. And then in the middle, we've got the secret base entrance with the big wizard tower and the elevator that goes up and down. And I plan to do the wizard tower and the elevator as the last thing on the build, the final kind of magnum opus. And then that would mark the end of our area here. And so I think for now I want to focus on maybe making that potato farm so that we can have infinite food, and then trying to just spruce up the area around, connect up all the pathways, and we should be good to go. I want to build a little bridge over one of the rivers so that we can watch the items slow down, but I think we're just going to work on sprucing things up, and then we can move into the final build, the big wizard tower. Alrighty, so I did decide to make a food farm. It's going to be bread over potatoes. I want to utilize the new auto crafter as much as possible, and so we're gonna put 2 villagers in each of these, and they will pick the crops, and then they will try to throw them at each other. And these hopper minecart stacks here will pick them up, funnel them into an item sorter, which will pull out the seeds. The seeds get put into the same waterway we made earlier for the flowers and the bone meal. And so it goes up to the farm, to the barn building, and gets turned into bone meal. While the wheat makes its way into an auto crafter, which then spits out wheat or spits out bread and sends it down into our base. And so I have built this big old long pathway to get some villagers over here, and I think we've got 2 of them ready in the town hall, and we just got to press the button, and hopefully they have a nice little roller coaster ride. With a little help from us, we can get them over there, get them dropped in, and then we should have unlimited bread whenever we need it. All right, buddy, you ready for the ride of your life? I have to push you a little, get you over this hill. Go ahead and push them up and over. And then just got to push them across the long bridge, get them all the way over there. Hopefully this downhill gives him some decent momentum, and maybe he'll make it a pretty good ways on his own. There he goes. Taking him all the way across. This is the same water output as the mob farm, but it's honestly not producing literally anything. So I'm just kind of hijacking it for bread, and we'll be able to get lots of food from this farm. There we go, he's in there. And in he goes as well. Switch to our axe this time so we don't have to try to break it forever. There we go. All right, so he should become a farmer as well. Go be a farmer, guy. I wanted to go into spectator to kind of show off this villager farm because I had some issues with it, so I didn't really get good footage of it at the end of the clip there. But essentially, there's a third villager that I didn't really know about to start with. He sits in the middle, and then he's the one that they're trying to throw the wheat to. And whenever they try to throw the wheat to him, it gets picked up by these hopper minecarts and then put into the auto crafter, where it is then crafted into bread. And so the little trick that we developed was in here, we've got an item sorter that pulls out the seeds, which then drop them down into this water column. And then they make their way over here and up to the barn where the roses go, and they get composted into bone meal. And then any of the bread that comes out makes its way into this bubble column, which is for the mob farm, which doesn't work. And it makes its way to the base. And so that's kind of how the villager food farm works, and it has produced a pretty decent amount of bread so far, and it should be pretty good. We won't have to worry about food ever again. Alrighty, I wanted to show off a little bit of the work I did while I was just kind of hanging out, doing a little bit of design work on the area. I brought these 2 paths together so that they connect. And after looking at the drawing, I remembered that this tower isn't going to have a door. There's no like entrance to it because it's supposed to be like Rapunzel's tower. And so it looks like there's no way to get in besides climbing up the outside. But we're going to have a secret door on the side that allows us in. But that means that this path, it's not going to connect to the secret door. It's just going to go past the tower. And so I was able to connect this path up. And so it's basically finished. And then if we come up here, I was able to get some custom trees built inside the villager village, which I think it looks pretty nice. It segregates off the villager from the rest of, or the zombie from the rest of the town, which is kind of nice because he's a zombie. They don't like him. So he's kind of like behind a wall of custom trees. But we make our way up here. We head into the villager town. We can see on the left, got these custom spruce trees that line off this house with the zombie in it. And then there's the rest of the villager town. And the path kind of works its way up here. And then inside you can see there's clearly a zombie in there, but he is locked in there. I did use him to zombify the 2 villagers in the library. So they now have super cheap mending trades. 1 emerald for Soak Touch and 1 emerald for mending. So not that we really need it anymore, but it was kind of, I just wanted to get it done so that we had zombified at least some villagers. And then in here, as these guys grow up, I've been releasing them out, and they always go and find jobs somewhere. So I don't think it's the right time of day for everyone to be at their jobs, but you can see them wandering around. They're probably going to come congregate by the bell, but everyone's got their own little jobs in the village. And I've done all the interiors. I think I might have shown this already, but we've got the bedroom, and then there's a food room over there. And so as this episode kind of comes to a close, in preparation for the final boss fight next episode, I wanted to test our skills a little. And although I may not be fighting directly in the boss fight, it doesn't hurt to have a little combat session. And in this cave, I was mining straight down to try to find a few diamonds to pay someone for some sand they brought me. And I actually fell straight into a trial chamber. So I've kind of loaded up my gear and I'm ready to dive in there. And I've never done a trial chamber before. It's the first time I've experienced it. But I plan to just drop straight down the hole and kind of explore, try to get some loot. Maybe we'll find a mace, some wind charges. We'll just kind of see what happens. All right, so this is the hole I mined in. I think it's right here. Yep. So if we drop down, we're going to end up in a trial chamber. I don't really want to take a ton of fall damage, so just do a little water trick. Oh. And once we're in here, the fight is going to start. I don't really know what to expect. I've never done one of these before. I don't see any mobs yet, but there's definitely still... Oh, there's something. Okay, so something's spawning for sure. Oh, man. Did someone loot this already? Someone looted this already. This is so sad. Well, maybe we can still kill some monsters. These things drop stuff after you kill enough things, right? How do I get out? How do I get out? Oh, actually gonna die in here. Poison hurts, man. Is that a trident? Oh, it drops stuff. Okay. So I just need to get up there. Okay. So it did drop loot. It's just not very much. Can I mine it? I can't mine it. Guess let's see if there's anything over here. Should probably heal up. I see another one of the spawners. We might be able to get some more drops. Hot. These don't have anything in it, do they? They do arrows. Is it worth breaking these? I guess I can get the pots too. I don't have any pots yet, so might as well. There's a door. A pot. I guess I'm not the biggest fan of these pots. I think they don't look too good, but maybe we can find a way to use them somewhere. Okay. Oh, but there's so many pots. Here we go. Baby zombies? Is it a baby zombie spawner? That's brutal. Oh my goodness, it is. They can't climb ladders, right? Okay. How many do you think it spawns? Oh, there we go. Potion. Is that it? Just a potion? Alright. Guess that's fine. Oh, dude. Pots are good too. Love pots. Oh, I just got a disc. I think that's the new disc that's really, really good. Hey. Oh, you've got a key. Wait, that's huge. That means we can unlock something, right? Maybe the person who did it didn't unlock the thing, and we'll actually have a chance to get some loot. Chicken. And we got the new music disc. That thing is so nice. Oh, look, there's the thing, right? That's what I need to unlock. Did it like that? I don't know what this is. Maybe I need a better key for this one. There's another trial chamber thing. Is that a spawner? I think that looked like a spawner to me. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Baby zombies. Oh, there's a lot of spawners. Get in the corner. Listen, we got good enough armor. We can tank these guys. Just gotta lure them all in. Baby zombie party. Get them. There's so many. Come on, Sleeping Edge. Do your thing. Yes, trial chamber key. Okay. Oh, 2? Oh, no. I just didn't have any inventory space. Let's see if we can find one of these that showcases one of the other keys, right? All right, I did a little Googling, and it seems like that key is only obtained through the spawners. Like, we have to get lucky when we kill off all the zombies, and hopefully the ominous trial key pops out. But I have not gotten that yet, and I don't know how rare it is. So I think I'm just gonna try to get another armor trim to start with, and then I won't be too upset if we leave here without one, because it sounds like it's expensive. It's gonna be tough to find one. Yes, right. Give me what you got. Wait, it actually gives you like the next 3 things? I could have been getting the armor trim if I wanted it. That's so sad. It's fine. Golden apple's cool. I really don't need an ominous potion. Well, I think this trial chamber is pretty well dealt with, so let's head back home and let's apply some armor trims to our armor. All right, it just teleported back home, and we can kind of sort this loot out a little bit. Most of it's gonna be mob drops, I think. Potions down there. All right, let's see what kind of armor trims we have. We have 2 of the rib armor trims and 1 of the bolt armor trims, which sounds good because we've got 3 things. Now, what color do we want them to be? Let's just bring some colors and we'll kind of like feel it out. Okay, so this one. Okay, that one's pretty cool looking. See what it looks like on the head. Okay. It's pretty neat. Let's see what this one looks like. Okay, yeah, I like this one a lot more than the other one. I think I'll do this one on the helmet. What color? I don't like the red. Don't really like the copper. Not a big fan of the blue. I like the diamond. I don't really like the purple. I think we can do emeralds too. Let me grab the green. I was kind of thinking green to start with. I wanted to see what it looks like first. Red. I mean, call me lame, but I kind of just like the diamond. I think we'll do that. And then do this. And this. Alright, let's see what this looks like. Okay. This is pretty cool. I like this. It doesn't really match with the red boots too much, but that's okay because they're relics, so they're meant to be different and exciting. Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, we're gonna kind of wrap the episode up here. We've done a lot of redstone in this episode. The big boss fight is gonna be happening next episode. So Vibos he's on his way. The server defeated his attack squad, and so now they're gonna be up against the real deal Commander Vibos, and if they can defeat him, they may be able to liberate their planet from the fear of Serenity entirely. So that should be an extremely exciting fight. I am very excited for you all to see it. And all the end relics were collected, which means that after that fight, it's kind of the end of the story, the end of the history of Zyterra and their combat with Serenity. And then it'll just kind of be, they'll be writing their own history from there on out. So it'll be really exciting to see. The channel's been doing great. People have been really liking the videos. The redstone shorts people have been loving. So I plan to keep doing that. Hopefully they help you in your own worlds. And just leave a like, subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot. And comment on the videos. Tell me if you think they're going to beat Serenity or not, because those comments help a ton. So we'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you.
So this is the puny planet they're fighting over. Let's make sure they never cross Serenity again.
Did you enjoy this episode of the Create SMP? Help the channel out by leaving a like or subscribing. Share a comment of your favorite moment. If you like more episodes like this, check the playlist in the description. And thank you for watching.